the one, the only Benzion. Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun Benzion, and today's daf is Sotah, daf Gid Dalet, number 14. As I talked about in the regular shir, being a Talmud Chacham is important. Talmud Chacham means a Talmud of wisdom. You're studying wisdom. You're on your way to wisdom. But in order to be a complete Talmud Chacham, you also have to be an Amaretz. If you didn't know this, I talk about this a lot. Amaretz is viewed negatively in the yeshivish world where I come from, where I've spent half of my life, at least precisely, in the yeshivish world. They look down upon people Amaretz and people who are, involved in the world, don't have much knowledge of Torah. It means someone who just basically doesn't know anything about Torah. But if you look in Berkei Avos, it says Derech Eretz, which I believe is the same thing as Amaretz, is Kadmol Torah. You can't understand the Torah properly if you don't know about the world. And therefore, I believe it's imperative to be not just a Talmud Chacham, be an Am Haaretz also. Am Haaretz means the nation of the land. You understand things in the world. You know how to shop on Amazon. You know what you're looking for. You know how to shop. You know the products in the world. You know how to cook. You have to know things about the world in order to understand the world. And ultimately, why is it so important? Because you can't be a real Chacham. You can't be a wise person who understands the Torah. You could be a Talmud Chacham on your way. You might know how to give a Chakir investigation in the Gemara, maybe give it even an Iyun shir, but you're never going to give the type of Iyun shir that I give, which is where you understand what the Gemara is really saying. And this is really borne out in the Iyun shir I want to give today, which is not so Iyun, but the Gemara says, it's darshaning a pasuk after Adam and Chava sinned, Hashem clothed them with kitnos or, it's basically clothes of leather, of or. What is kitnos or? It's machlokes in the Gemara in Yadalam and Aleph. The Gemara says, Chadamar, one opinion, Rav Shmuel, I have an argument. Chadamar davar abomin or, something which comes from the skin. The Chadamar davar sha'or nenem mimenu. Another opinion, the other one said, something which the skin gets benefit from, or maximum benefit from. So if you look at Rashi says davar abomin or, the first explanation is shal semeru. It's wool. Now, why does wool come from the skin? It comes from the skin of the sheep. Okay. There's no other things that come. What about leather itself? The skin of animals, the skin of a cow, the skin of alligator, the skin of snakes. And the second explanation, shal pishtan, shal lovish samach oro. Linen. Linen is the most thing is a fabric that people enjoy wearing on their skin the most. Now, if you took a survey of most people who've tried out all the different fabrics in the world, they will not tell you that linen is the most comfortable. Maybe it makes the best linens, the best sheets for your bed. I would recommend linens for your bed. That's why they're called linens, because, they help, they breathe a lot, as opposed to what I'm about to say. The real explanation in this Gemara, I believe, is silk or satin. I actually have tried both silk and satin. I only tried 19 mom silk. The highest type of silk is 22 mom. That's the thickness of the silk. People recommend using 22 mom. I paid $50 for a pair of boxers of 19 mom. They were comfortable. They definitely feel different. I also bought satin. Satin is basically polyester. It's just made in a specific type of weave, a satin weave. It's synthetic, and I found, first of all, the once you wash, even if you hand wash the silk, it gets ruined. It does get ruined. It loses all of its. Maybe a 22 mom doesn't. It's not that much thicker. But satin, you hand wash. You're supposed to hand wash these things. It's smooth. People like satin. Satin, or sometimes maybe silk, is the most enjoyable things to wear on your skin. Dorsha or net. That's the second explanation. The first explanation, Darabamina or, I don't know why this is so complicated. It comes from the skin of sheep. No, how about the actual leather? The actual leather that comes from the skin. That is the skin. Darabamina or. They take the ore from. They take the leather from cows. Most leather products come from the hides of cows. And if you want to spend a little more money, then you can buy from the skin of alligators and snakes. And in fact, that's what the Targum Yonasan actually says over here. Targum Yonasan argues on Rashi, and he says that davar habam or is that comes from snakes, basically the snake skin. Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, these brothers that got freed recently from a Romanian jail. One of the comments that Tristan Tate is usually a lot more quiet than his brother. He said, yeah, I guess he was joking around, that it was very difficult being in detention in jail for 3 months. He said 3 months without alligator shoes. It was very hard to deal with that. They're very rich. They can buy alligator shoes. One day I would like to own a couch made out of alligator skin. Maybe snake skin. I don't know. I haven't compared snake skin and alligator skin, which one is actually nicer. But Davar Abominable ore is a product which comes from actual leather. It comes from either leather from a cow or from more expensive types of leather from alligators and snakes. And that's exactly what the Targum Yonasan says. So that's what the explanation I would give. The two explanations. What were the clothes that Amachava wore? Either they wore snake skin from the Nachash that tricked them. The Nachash tricked them, so they got to wear his skin. Or is it something which is soft to the skin? The most soft, which I tell you is either silk or satin. So those are two of my explanations, which makes sense if you have any experience with fabrics and clothing. I don't make fabrics, but I do wear fabrics. I've tried different fabrics. And I will tell you, I do not believe that Rashi is correct over here. I know Rashi had experience making wine. My parents bought some Rashi wine over here for the Seder. Atrocious. Rashi would not be proud of that wine. He worked in the vineyards in France. I don't know, Burgundy or the Bordeaux region. I don't know. Maybe he had some champagne on Dalit Kosos. That's what I recommend. Dalit Kosos. Well, it has to be red. I don't know if it has to be red. Dalit Kosos, champagne. Maybe you want to get a red type of champagne, but that's the truth. Even though Rashi says these explanations, I can't agree with Rashi. Maybe he had some experience in a vineyard, but if you know a bit about the world, this Gemara makes a lot more sense. The problem with this is obviously something which happened in the past. I mean, isn't that important? It's important if you want to try to figure out what you should wear. Something, Hashem did the biggest, Gemara says, Hashem did Gmilas Chasadim by dressing them. He dressed them in the most comfortable thing enjoyable thing that they could wear. It's Machlokas, Rav and Shmuel, right? Does it go by how it feels on your skin? Does it go based on the value? When you wear something valuable, it makes you feel good. Leather makes you feel valuable. If you're wearing leather, you're not touching the leather, right? Usually, a leather belt or leather shoes, you don't touch them, but they feel more comfortable also. And also, they look better. But anyway, it's something which is high class, and that's what you learn from it, how to dress, basically. But it's not relevant to halacha necessarily. But in other places in Gemara, it's very more, the halacha is really relevant to your understanding of what the Gemara is saying, and that you need amaratas, you need knowledge of the world to understand the Gemara. I hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.